What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be going over line selection for ice fishing. Before we get into that, if you could like this video, comment any video suggestions or anything, any questions, anything like that below, and most importantly, drop us a subscribe. That would be great. We're trying to grow the channel a lot. Things have been going pretty well. I'm just excited to see where this goes. So let's get into the selection. So the most important thing about selection is, what are you doing with your setups? That's going to determine whether you're going to use one of, I'm going to say, the three types of line. That is braid. Got a rod rigged up like that right there. Braid, monofilament, or fluorocarbon. So let's start off with braid. So I have braid on this. This is my pike rod right here. It goes in a finicky fooler, normally inside the tent. So the main disadvantage with braid is going to be it absorbs water. You can get coated braids. I've done a lot of experimenting. I haven't tried the I believe the Power Pro braid, which I've heard is good, so I haven't tried that one, but I've tried Suffix, I've tried a couple other brands of braid, and what I found is it absorbs water and then freezes, and it doubles in size and beads up really bad. So that is the one issue with braid. In the cold weather, if it's above freezing, works fine. Also, if you're in a shack, it works just fine. And obviously you have the advantages with braid of it being super thin and very tough and abrasion resistant and whatnot. And I use braid a lot during the summer, so this is actually just a summer reel that I have on here. This almost exclusively is either in the shack or outside when it's above freezing or near freezing. And it's not being taken in and out of the water a lot, so putting it on something that is not going to have to deal with cold so much is where braid is really going to shine. That's what I would really suggest that for. Also, if you have to use heavy, if you're fishing for lake trout or whatnot, which I'm not super experienced with, so don't quote me on any of that. But if you have to use a line that has a high breaking point and pretty thin diameter, that's when braid's going to work better for you. But again, if it freezes up on you and you got a big fish on, you can have some serious issues. So I use it ice fishing just when it's warmer or I'm inside a shack. Now let's move on to mono. And the stuff that I really have been liking, I mentioned this in the last video, is this clam frost line right here. I'm not affiliated with clam at all. I just like that product in particular, which is kind of out of the ordinary for me because I'm more of a Suffix line guy. But I started using this and it is amazing, actually. So the difference between, a lot of people take mono and fluoro and kind of mix them. The main differences between mono and fluoro: mono floats, fluoro, right here I got some Suffix, fluoro sinks. The other difference is I forget exactly how it all works, but basically the pattern, the way fluorocarbon reacts to, the way you can see fluorocarbon is very similar to the way you see water. So it disappears very quickly. That's another major advantage of fluorocarbon over monofilament. The only issue with it is it has a lot of stretch to it and memory. So you're going to have issues with it getting a lot of line twist, stuff like that. That's why I put it on a drop reel. But let's not get too deep into fluorocarbon. This is my new, actually the last video, I just showed this rod off, my G Loomis, and this is a rod for spoon fishing outdoors. And that's why I have that on it. It's because I wanted to put a traditional reel and not a drop reel. So I went with a mono because it has less stretch and less memory. This stuff in particular has a very low memory, this clam stuff. That's why I like it so much. You can just put it on there, forget about it. It doesn't really have all those line twists when it comes out, all those loops in the line, which can cause some major issues. So that's why I like it for outdoor fishing, because it doesn't absorb like a braid would. But it also has some properties of fluorocarbon without being too twisty. If this wasn't a if this was a drop reel or a round reel, something with a big diameter spool, I would probably go with a fluorocarbon just to get all those extras. But for something that's a little bit more low stretch that you can put on a reel like this, that is going to help you with those line twists. Let's move on to fluorocarbon now. Pretty simple. Looking for some good stuff. Suffix Invisalign Ice, 100% fluorocarbon. I use it for panfish fishing, and I like a 3-pound for that. I put it on. This is my tuned-up custom bullwhip, best panfish rod ever. And I have it on a 13 fishing Black Betty, a free fall. It is a great reel for panfish, but the main reason I like it is because I can put a very low diameter line like a 3-pound on there and not get some nasty line twists, because I'm using that fluorocarbon that has more memory. So if you put it on a very small diameter spool, it's going to have a lot more. With this, I mean, this is 3-pound coming directly off the reel, and you can see it just hangs. Like there's zero memory, almost zero memory with that round reel. So for a fluorocarbon, you're going to either want a heavier diameter, or you're going to want a round reel. And obviously it helps because it sinks, helps. I guess it could help the bait get down there faster. I don't know how much that would really matter with that. You know, I use tungsten jigs, little tiny tungsten ice jigs, so that gets it down there pretty fast. But so for a fluorocarbon, you're going to want either a round reel or a high, or a little bit thicker if you're going with a smaller diameter spool for that. So I think that pretty much covers everything. Just remember, the braid absorbs. That's kind of the issue with it, but it's really high strength. Mono, it floats and it's easier to see, but it doesn't have as much memory. And then fluoro sinks and disappears really well, but it has a lot of memory. So those are the things to remember when you're sizing your line. And choosing the type of line that you want to get for an ice setup. I think that'll do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. It is warming up here finally in Minnesota. We're going to get back out on the ice. Actually, I'm probably going to head out there tomorrow and the next day, and maybe even the next day after that. Try to get some nice videos for you guys filmed, and then we're starting to move into open water. We got some nice plans for that, so stay tuned for all those videos. Like I said in the beginning, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.